Hello, my name is Carol May Whittick, spiritual life coach. Thank you for tuning in to Higher Energetic Resonance Inspirations. This week, the logical topic seems to me to be clarity, which can arise from the previous week's subject, that was stillness and then contemplation. From David Dillard-Wright, clarity within leads to clarity without. A quick announcement here that on the Monday following the Friday release of her inspirations, I send out an accompanying email for each episode. So if you haven't done so already, do consider joining the mailing list. You'll receive additional meditation, journaling, inspiration notes. If I've got links to additional resources, they'll be there. I'll also tell you about any exclusives. Please use the links in the show notes to join up. And with that, you'll also receive the free Embody Higher Energetic Resonance course, where you're feeling into your vision physically, emotionally and spiritually, and then starting to take action on your dreams. Clarity of mind means clarity of passion too. This is why a great and clear mind loves ardently and sees distinctly what it loves. From Blaise Pascal. So how do we define clarity? And what does clarity mean when we're talking about personal and spiritual development? Clarity is not just about having a clear vision or a goal, but also it's about understanding who you are. What are your values? What's your purpose? Who are you at your core? Are you in touch and listening to the messages of your inner self? If you have clarity, when you're able to foster clarity, it can be the foundation for you then being able to make confident and meaningful decisions and being able to take strong and purposeful actions. When we're clear about these things, then we find that we're rooted in something very solid when we know what we're about, what we stand for, and what we don't stand for. And the more that we can align and be clear about who we are and what we are, it means that we don't get swayed by external voices. We actually are more confident than not having anything. And while it may feel sometimes to be clear about something and to stand up for what you believe in can be the hard road, especially when you're faced with dissenting voices and opinions and you're going against the grain or the narrative, being clear and being sure about what you are and what you stand for just gives your whole life a sense of purpose. You're stronger, you're able to weather those storms because you know that this is who you are and what you're about. You're convicted in what you see for yourself. A lot of the times that when people are swayed by external voices, swayed by an external narrative, swayed by groupthink or cultthink, it's because they have no sense of themselves. And not having any sense of yourself, not being clear about who you are or what you stand for, is probably one of the most anxiety-inducing states to be in, because you're always second-guessing what's going to happen, where the wind is going to blow, what's going to be right, how people are going to perceive what you're saying. You know, it's all, we see a lot of it with people, what we call virtue signalling online. Is that what they really stand for? Or is it what they think they should stand for? Being clear about what it is you stand for means that if what people are virtue signaling about doesn't align with what you believe, you can quite easily go against it and see it for what it is. And a lot of the time as well, when you have a conversation with people who are not aligned with their own clarity or not clear about what it is that they think, you'll find that it's a very different conversation. They are very triggered, very defensive about things. Getting clear means that you're stronger. Getting clear means that you find a way of not necessarily having to defend yourself, which becomes exhausting after a time, but just being able to state what it is that you believe without wanting or needing anyone to agree with you. And we all want clarity in our relationships. There's so much woolly grey area when it comes to relationships, all relationships. Again, we want to be clear about what we stand for and how people see us and what we align with. That can be in our family relationships, that can be in our romantic relationships, friendships, or even work relationships as it is. We're all part of different links and different relationships as well. So being clear in relationships means that we're clear about what we're expecting from the relationship. So we're able to feel strong that we can say, this is what I need. This is what I expect. This is what I won't tolerate. When we're clear and when we're true about that, it's fostering healthier connections, more respectful connections, and then there's less likely to be any kind of misunderstanding. And of course, there are going to be obstacles to any kind of way that we're moving forward, and obstacles that we can face when we're seeking clarity can be real self-doubt about who it is we're becoming when we become clear, when we have to stand in what we've found within our clarity. It's like, am I going to be strong enough to actually be a person of my conviction? What will people think about me? What happens if the wind changes in the other direction and I'm the minority? Am I going to be able to be the lone wolf, the black sheep in all of this? And if I bring in a story of my own journey to clarity or continued journey to clarity, what I find is the more that I really understand where it is that I'm coming from and what it is I believe and what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, the more that that becomes clear and cemented within me and I stand with it, then nothing can really push me. It's harder for me to be pulled left and right off centre. The times when I used to get very anxious about things, the times that I used to find myself fighting and defending, was because I hadn't got to the point where I was clear that that was who I was and this was what I believed. It was still very much a moving target. I was still trying to figure it out and I hadn't put my stake in the ground, as it were. The moment that I did, and the moment I found out really why it was important to me, what it was going to mean to my life, it became easier for me to just politely disagree with other people and say, well, this is what I stand for. The more that I could contemplate that, the more it became clear. The more it became clear, the more rooted I became in that, the more that I was able to speak from a point of conviction and confidence. It's almost like it's this circular movement of getting more and more in touch with your true self, who you are authentically, and loving the fact that you're able to show up as that. How do we start to cultivate clarity? How do we start to implement a practice of that within our lives? I would say the first thing is really finding out what is it that we want. So goal setting. What do you want for your life in all aspects? What kind of relationship do you want? What kind of body do you want? Where do you want to live? What work do you want to do? How much money do you want to have in the bank? What kind of conversations do you want to have with people? Because the more that you're able to be very clear about those things, the easier it is then for you to remove anything that isn't that. It's clear of any clutter, clear of clutter in your physical space, clear of clutter in your mental space. And once you get a real idea of what it is that you stand for, again, my favorite is writing, is journaling, making a list of that, writing it down, creating a visual around that, using pictures, whatever it is to really cement that idea into your mind and meditate on it and visualize it, really see it clearly in your mind, really feel into what your life will be like if these are the things that you stand for and nothing else will do. The more directed and convicted you are, you just get to the point, you breeze through. Without that, it's a lot of kind of looking left and looking right and not being sure and trying to make sure other people are upset. Newsflash, people are always going to be upset by the things that you do. And it's not necessarily that you're doing things out of a position of malice. It's just being who you are. And what you will find is the more that you're clear and the more that you act on your clarity, then you start to draw to you other people who have that clarity about them as well. And things become very different. Life for yourself becomes very different. Clarity is something that is an ongoing practice. You're getting clearer as time goes on. You know, as we're moving forward, if you picture the idea of walking through a river with just kicking up the sand on the riverbed, there's always going to be a moment where things kind of come up again, and then we have to get into stillness and contemplation for the clarity to arise. That's how I see it. As I'm moving forward, there's more stuff that comes up that might be old things that I'm hanging on to, old beliefs, old relationships, even old ways of showing up that I have to then see, how does that measure up to what I'm seeing clearly for myself? Can it go forward with me, or do I have to lovingly allow it to give me space or to leave my life? And another way of really getting clear when we're getting clear about what we want and who we are is allow ourselves to forgive. Forgive yourself for the person that you were when you were not clear about your life, for the decisions that you made when you were not clear about things in your life, for the people that you associated with, for the things that you did, and also for maybe how people treated you as a lack of your own clarity. Because when we're unclear, we're going to invite other people's lack of clarity, and they're going to treat us in a different way. So, it's forgiveness all around as we start to let those things go, allow them to be what they were, see who we were at that point, that we were confused about who we were, that we relied on other people to kind of define us or show us who we were supposed to be. And as we move forward and become clearer, life becomes clearer, life becomes simpler. We're able to see exactly what it is and what we're going for. It's almost like having an untarnished target. If we know what it is that we want, we can see it, we can go for it. Another thing as well is not to overthink it. Obviously, when we're in contemplation, then there comes a point when we have to let go of, we have to stop and move and take action. Again, overthinking, are we clear about this? Is this what we want? Sometimes that can hinder our own clarity. Maybe at that point, we're as clear as we're ever going to be at that point in time, and we start to move forward. Often we only really can tell the success of something by putting it into action, by bringing it out into the world, seeing what results we get from it, seeing how it changes our life for the better or for the worse, if it moves us past things that we're trying to move past. So allow yourself to have setbacks, face the challenges, and know that they are a natural part of your journey towards your clarity, and allow your setbacks to be seen as opportunities for growth and deeper self-discovery. And patience as well. We really need to be patient with ourselves as we're gaining clarity. As I said, it's a gradual process. It's nothing that we can ever arrive at in one go. Moving forward will then move us through those moments of uncertainty as we're almost stepping out into the world as a new person. How are we responding? How are we being responded to? Allow yourself to not know everything, not have all the answers straight away. Again, patience, clarity is an ongoing process. And don't forget the other tools that you have at hand when you're trying to find out what's right for you, get clear about what works for you and what doesn't. There's probably nothing that works better than our intuition and our gut feeling about a situation. It can play a vital role with us just knowing what it is that's right for us and what isn't. Allow yourself to have a feeling and respond to that. If you go into a situation and something about it doesn't seem right, don't always poo-poo the idea. Don't gaslight your core wisdom when your core wisdom is trying to alert you to something that is not for you at that point in time. And in the same way, allow your intuition to feed to you more aspects of your own self to get clearer about who you are. And ultimately, your intuition will rarely do you wrong. It's always helping you in the direction of your own personal growth and your own awakening on your spiritual journey. And let's not forget to be grateful for what we're being shown. Once you've decided that you want to get clear about things and you get shown what it is that's right for you, you get clearer, you get clarity about who you are and what your path is to be. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to find that connection with that aspect of yourself that's giving you all the answers and allowing you to make mistakes. Why would we not be grateful for that part of ourselves? Imagine just always having something that's tapping you on your shoulder and just course correcting you and saying this way a little bit, that way a little bit, step away. This is what's for you, and just kind of wiping things clean, showing you the things that don't need to be in your life anymore. Imagine having that and then realize you have it and then be grateful, because it's an amazing thing to have, to get clear. And allow yourself to delve into a supportive community of people who want to support you into that bigger aspect of yourself, to get clear and to hold you to the clarity that you're finding for yourself as well. Those early steps, those early moments that you step forward are going to be the most nerve-wracking. You're taking on a new part of yourself. You're starting to rely on what it is that you see for yourself, and stepping away from a world where it's all about what everyone thinks in this collective mind, and allowing yourself to be the individual that you are. It's a nerve-wracking thing. So having that support, having that assistance, of course, is only going to help you as you move forward in your journey. And I add to that as well, this is a message for you if you want to get clear about the purpose for your life, if you know that there's something there, but you're wanting to get clear about that, and you're ready to turn it into your reality. My role and what I'm clear about, my mission and my purpose here, is to help you make that happen. So if you're ready to take the next step on your transformation and you want to get there with support and honesty and accountability, then contact me to find out more about my Higher Energetic Resonance one-to-one spiritual life coaching program. There's more information in the show notes underneath this. So a quote to close this episode. Seeking clarity is seeking a connection with the universe, and connecting with the universe is to understand higher consciousness. From Amrit Bansal, From Stagnation to Vibrant Living. So thank you for listening into this episode, and if you're receiving value, if you're getting any breakthroughs with this, let me know. Reach out to me on social media. You can find me Kazmic, Cazmick, on Instagram, Carol May Whittick, on Facebook, or you can visit my website, which is carolmaywhittick.com, carolmaywhittick.com. I'm so interested in finding out what's coming up for you. One of the ways to make this journey to ourselves so much easier and less daunting is to be able to share what's coming up for us with like-minded people, with supportive people. I remember much of my journey was made alone, so it probably took me way longer than it should have or could have done had I had like-minded people to feed back to. No judgment. I just want to find out what's happening for you. I'm always fascinated in the myriad of different ways people happen upon their own journey. So please reach out, please share to me. And again, if you haven't already, join the mailing list so you can receive the additional learning points for you to meditate, journal and contemplate as you're doing your self-work. And you're also going to receive the Embody Higher Energetic Resonance course for free. 3 steps closer to becoming the woman of your dreams. So until the next episode, enjoy your week. Take care. Bye-bye.